Hello, lovelies, and welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody's doing amazingly well out there. If not, we're here for a little support and love, whatever it is that you need today. If you are brand new and just clicked on this channel, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome also. All are welcome. Today, we are gathering messages from your angels. And it's specifically, we're doing guidance for a fulfilling life. There's a lot of energies going on right now in the month of March, and we already had that full moon, so we're just going to check in. And specifically, what we're going to be doing is what you need, or for some of you, what you need to release to have a fulfilling life. So we're going to get you as many answers and clarifications today as we possibly can. As always, we have the healing candle with our magic oil for healing and beauty and love and bringing in all that fulfilling life stuff. So you're welcome to project onto the candle light, the flame, or bring in abundance and manifestations, however you want to use the candle. These readings are set up for healings and activations, pretty much whatever it is that you need, and of course support, that goes without saying. So let's just take a moment and breathe in. Take a deep breath in and then breathe out. And really come into our center. As always, the more aligned you are with your own soul, with your own intuition, the more you'll get from these readings. So if you need to go ahead and pause the video and come back a little bit later when you're in the present moment, then as always in life, way beyond these readings, always listen to your intuition. Always do what's right for you. Always, always, always put your energy first. So we're just going to breathe in deeply. And again, messages from your angels, guidance for a fulfilling life. So we have pile 1 with our clear quartz. I have sage all over my hands. And then we have our tiger's eye for pile 2. And then we have our turquoise for pile 3. So take as much time as you need to choose a pile. Again, if you need to pause the video, the timestamps will be down below so you can get straight right into your reading. So let's go ahead and get right into your reading. We're going to put aside our pile 2 and our pile 3. So if you chose pile 1, again, we are doing messages from your angels, guidance for a fulfilling life. So if you chose the clear quartz, this is your reading. And specifically, these are timeless readings. What do you need, or what do you need to release in order to have a fulfilling life? So, and of course, it's kind of a trick question, really, because what do you need to have a fulfilling life? Nothing. You already have it. Once you claim it, you'll have that fulfilling life. So we'll bear that in mind. It's, in a way, it's a little bit of a trick question because we're not suggesting that you don't have it already. All you have to do is pull it in and you have that fulfilling life. So it can be that easy once your energy is aligned, but we're going to give you some specifics here today. So we're going to start off with our tarot and move into our oracle. We have the Ascended Master deck here, getting you some information on your specific guides that are working with you. And then we have, as always, our sort of our piles of different oracle cards to give you some extra information as we move along. So let's see what we have here. Ooh, 9 of Cups and the Star. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, some might say it doesn't get any better than this, as the 9 of Cups is considered the wish card, and then the Star is the wish card. It's so in some traditions, if you have a wish and you want a wish to come true and you get the 9 of Cups, it's an indication that your wish is about to be fulfilled. So, and then the Star is this beautiful, gorgeous energy, obviously connected to yourself, but also beyond polarity. Just this gorgeous energy of just knowing who you are, and this real supreme sort of gift of just being present, and knowing that you are the vessel for what it is that you need in this lifetime, and just this this real moment of sort of truth of coming in there. So Messages from your angels. Let's see who your angel is. What's going on here? Romance and connection. Well, look at you, pile one. um, there really has been sort of a shift for you, this real true understanding of what it is that you want versus what it is that you put up with before. And the real shift for you, and it's a gorgeous shift, is this understanding of what it is that you deserve. Now, there's many different variants sort of laws of attraction, one way or another, but we're told that, and we do understand at this level, of this core level that you have, that when you know that you deserve what you desire, alignment sort of is there for you, for the taking, as it were. And this is something that you absolutely have come into, this real understanding of who you are. Now, some of you are coming in and out of those moments where, and there's a reason for it, so bear with us while we tell you, though, just letting you know, these moments of really this absolute clarity of knowing who you are, and knowing what you deserve, and really having that moment, when you stand in your life and you look back and you say, my past is my past, it's over, I've got this. I really truly understand that sort of objective viewpoint, looking down and finally not in that subjective, kind of, not being ruled by your emotions, really understanding, everything coming together in this sort of cosmic, strange way. And then the next day, it feels as though you're quite heavy and everything's sort of coming back in a way. And even though it's not staying, it's sort of confusing energy, it's sort of up and down. So we want to be really clear here. You're doing the last part of the releasing. So again, we want to be really clear, and I've said this before in many of these readings, because it's not the right time necessarily to go down the rabbit hole. We don't want to suggest that you have anything else for you to bring up, anything else for you to really go in and dig up. You've absolutely done this work. You really have done this work. Now, what's happening is that you're absolutely reaching that level of abundance, that level of beauty, and you can feel it. And when you get into those moments, you absolutely feel it. Now, if you're getting up the next day and your energy is, if you're really lethargic, your energy is a little bit darker, or you feel as though, sort of the way that I'm being shown is that this sort of damp blanket has been put over you and all you want to do is sort of lie down. Some of you could even have symptoms of a little bit dizzy, maybe even nauseated, just a little bit of these things sort of coming out of nowhere. Again, it's this old energy releasing, but again, it's not a saga in any way, because it's not, you're not going back to anything. You don't have to do anything. It's old stuff. For some of you, there's like, this is there's guilt, and there's grief coming up, and it's sort of bubbling up, but it's coming up. And this has been a theme a little bit on and off for the beginning of 2021, of just letting it come up and letting it move through you. If you are in the space now, if you are in the space to be able to give yourself a little bit of time and energy, please do that for yourself, because that's all you need to do. Rest your body. For those of you who are trying to catch, go on as normal and work out and do all of those things, just, click into the inner child moment. What do you need to do? Watch old movies, something that's familiar. Just allow all of this stuff to sort of release. For many of you, there's either romance and connection coming in, or there's romance, or a newfound sense of romance and connection with the partner that you already have. And the reason why is because you have reached a level of deep awakening at your soul. It's really sort of profound. In a way, Palwan, and it's something that you've been working towards a really, really long time. This is not a small amount of work that you put into it, and that's why we want you to understand. Like, don't go down the rabbit hole of this is, this is what I need to do, or even if this guilt comes up. For some of you, there's a little bit of guilt or shame, and there's definitely grief coming up too. So some of you could feel the top of your lungs, like right at the top of the heart here, it can be a little bit heavy. It's just all of this is coming up to release, once and for all. And really, what's happening in the release, it's providing the way for amazing connection, the sort of connection, Paul, one that a lot of you have not really had, being on the outside looking in, and sort of dipping your toe in the water of connection. Because for some of you, connections have hurt. because people leave or something happens. This is something that's really, you're coming in on the other side of this, and your main message here. So, what is it that you need? What is it that you need to know to have a fulfilling life? That it's the risk of the connection is absolutely worth it. So if this message is for you and it's resonating with you, pal one, then please take this to heart. A lot of you have held yourself back from certain situations, or held yourself back from certain relationships, or not given 100% because, because when you do commit, you really do. And you've done that before, and that person's left. It could have been death, it could have been anything, but that person's left, and it left you a little bit devastated. So in this way, you've kept yourself back a little bit, and you've kept a little bit of yourself back from every single relationship. So not that many people can see all of you. Now we can say that pretty much for the world in general. Not everybody, people don't really see each other, but you really have this down. People don't see certain aspects of you. You're able to bring out certain aspects of you in certain different situations and make it work. You're sort of a chameleon. Like, what's happening for you specifically here is a true gift. All of this pain and this hurt that's come up, that's been integrated one way or another, and this could be in past lives too, is coming up, and for you to release. And what's left when you release is this profound connection, this way for you to connect to people, to your life, in this sort of bond forming way that you've never done before. And it gives you this deepness and this real sense of gratitude, taking it to the next level, and feeling so connected with this life that you feel as though the world is yours. You have it at your fingertips. You can do anything. And this is not a small thing, and this is a long time coming. So again, a lot of you have been wanting romance and connection, and a lot of you have been pulling yourself away from it too, one way or another. And a lot of you have been sensing that you needed to work on yourself. You needed to figure out a few things before you sort of gave your heart away. Some of you have been physically burned or emotionally burned from old relationships where it's coming in. A lot of you are empathic and caretakers, went into certain relationships with understanding that, they would be able to step up, and unfortunately, a lot of them didn't. But regardless, this is not about your past. We're definitely moving forward. And not only that, it's specifically for you. It's a way for you to stay in the present moment. It's a way for you to extract all of the beauty in the present moment. A lot of you tend to be in the past or in the future. Most of you tend to be in the past, especially recently, because you're trying to make sense of it. This is sort of a gift for you to be in this present moment and realize that everything unfolds for you in that time frame, not before, and certainly not in the future. So whatever it is that you need to do, the releasing is automatically happening. So just give yourself some space and time for that to happen. Again, this has been a theme a little bit, slightly on and off for 2021. So there's a lot of release. I feel as though a lot of stuff came up in 2020. A lot of stuff came into fruition one way or another. It bubbled to the top, or we had that personal, interpersonal, global, spiritual, all of that stuff came up. We were able to see it in many different levels, and of course it affected each and every person very differently. So all of it was coming up. But this is the time to release, and not just release. This is not like for you to go back and figure it all out and howdy ha and all this stuff. This is mainly for you to release and then integrate and then claim. So this is just a really beautiful moment for you to be in that moment and understand exactly who you are. Now, as for the Nine of Cups, some of you have been asking for relationships, and you've been sensing the time when you are ready. For those of you who are listening to this and saying, yes, that's me, this is an indication that absolutely you are ready. This person is there. You're ready to bring them in. And we want to be really clear about tarot not being a predictive insofar as, we want, at least I do at Unicorn Light Tarot, want to be really clear that, there is a predictive tarot, and we can certainly do that with astrology too. There's certain things that come up, but really my school of thought is that when you're in alignment, you can pull anything into your life. So I get people all the time to say for readings, when am I going to meet my significant other? And my answer is always like, don't spend money on that. your answer is whenever you're ready. So it's you're ready. That's it. You're absolutely ready and you can feel it. Again, if your energy's going in and out, please allow for that integration as it's coming in. Slip into that beautiful inner child mode, which is going to help you really just not just give you that, continue with that objectivity that you've been having in order to solidify all of these energies and release what no longer serves you, but also just understanding that that inner child mindset really sets you apart and really frees you up from your past, whereas before, you're on the precipice of feeling great, knowing that you're sensing something was going on, then you would doubt yourself. And then the mind would come in, as it always does, and says, well, this happened before, and you can dumb it down a little bit. This is a new sense for you, with coming in with this beautiful inner child sort of motif, this inner child connection to self, where you allow for this brand new beginning completely. You can't leave it in your past. You can't compare it to your past. It's just this childlike mentality of literally anything can happen. And the truth of the matter is anything can happen, and you're in that void, that space. And when we say void, we don't mean it in a bad way. It's a good thing for you, that void, that space to be able to create that life that you want. And for those of you who are here and resonating, you know what that life looks like. Now, the specifics of it and how it will look like and how it will bring it back to you might look a little bit different, but you know what that looks like. You've always known what that looked like. Now it's the time to get in there and claim it. So let's see what we have here. We're going to do, of course, we have to have the unicorn oracle here. Let's get you. So your fulfilling life is right there. You're coming in and out of it. It's a matter of solidifying where you already are. Again, allowing that time and allowing this energy through the freedom of your inner child to come in and click in. And once it clicks in, you'll be there. And really revel in, if you're not attached yet, romantically attached, allow yourself to really dream about this and pull in that energy. So rom-coms, if that's something that you want to do, because feeling that energy around you will bring in that energy quicker. So let's see what we have here. Call a friend today, prompting. And we have, let's see, feather. The calling card from the unicorns tells you that you are near. You definitely, and the reason why I chose this deck today is to remind you again to stay with the inner child, to get back into that elemental energy, that inner child energy. It's going to help you clear out a lot quicker and solidify what you're already going through. So, you're being asked not to do this on your own. And you're also asked to remind yourself that this is, if it does feel heavy in one day, this too shall pass, as I say. This is not for you to go down the rabbit hole or get confused with all of this. This is just for you to stay in the moment. And if you want to really allow yourself to feel all of this grief and really understand what it did for you as it releases out, this is an important time for you. You're not doing this on your own. You can call in the unicorns. There's also meeting your unicorn. I think we do have that in Unicorn Light Tarot. If I remember, I'll link it down below. It's part of the unicorn therapy that I offer here on the channel for free. But the first one is meeting your unicorn. If you feel, always listen to your intuition. If you feel as though that's the way you want to move forward, do the meditation. Meet with your unicorn and see what messages they have for you right now. They hold peace. And that's the energy that we want for you as you move forward with this inner child coming in, clearing and cleansing and producing these really beautiful results. So let's get you some moon energy too, connected to the tides of the moon, and see what we have for you here. So, first card. Okay, first card, here we go. A new start is coming, new moon. Absolutely. And we want you to remind yourself, which is why, connecting with your beautiful guides, but especially unicorns, to really, because your inner child will love that. The reminder is that your new start is coming. It's right there. And there's not a lot of work for you to do. Just honor where you are. Again, don't go down the rabbit hole of thinking that there's because this stuff comes up. It may feel for some of you, I'm glad you're here. It may feel a little intense as it comes up, and it might have physical stuff coming up with it too. But again, this too shall pass as you move through. Where these are the crux of your cards here, this crux of your reading. This is the foundation of your reading. This is who you are. This is your fulfilling life. It's right there. You don't have to attain it. So just hang in there just a little bit more. Let's do one more here too. Have faith in your dreams. Absolutely. At certain times of your life, even though you know what you wanted, you may have doubted that you would get it. But we can assure you, with these two as your foundation, we can absolutely assure you that these dreams are on the horizon, and they will come in for you exactly, actually probably better than you imagined. But you're absolutely worthy of it. And all of this is coming back to the fulfilling life, knowing that you're worthy of what it is that you've asked for, and to remind yourself that the version of it is for your higher self, to reflect your higher self, and for the earth. And it's not coming from your ego, and it really isn't coming from your ego. And sometimes when I don't know if I'm going to get that, and you've questioned whether it's coming from your ego, it's not coming from your ego. You are here to serve. You're here to be the best, brightest side of yourself that you possibly can be, and you're capable of doing that. You genuinely from the bottom of your heart, pal, to give joy to people's lives just by being you. And it's just a matter of taking that beautiful energy and integrating it into every aspect of life and self that you possibly can. So that's what we have for you, Pal One. We hope that resonated. If it did, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing from you. And don't forget to check in this Sunday, because we will be doing our Goddess series for our week ahead. And we have many different ways to work with this energy. All of them will be listed down below. Joining our Facebook group, courses, whatever it is that you need to know. Everything you need to know will be down below. So as always, check out the links below, listen to your intuition, and see which way it takes you. Sending so much love and light to you, Pal One. This is a beautiful time for you. Enjoy being you and coming into that beautiful, fulfilling life that you absolutely deserve. Until we meet again, stay safe and sane. Bye-bye. Hello, my gorgeous Pal Twos. If this is yours, Tiger's Eye, a little extra grounding and abundance and beauty, this is your reading. As a reminder, let's not forget that you also have activation and healing and whatever it is that you need to use the healing candle for. If there's anything that you want to release, go ahead and look into the flame and do that, or bring in abundance and beauty. So as a reminder, we are doing messages from your angels, guidance for a fulfilling life. What do you need to release, or what it is that you need to have a fulfilling life? And as we said in Pal One, it's kind of a trick question, because the truth is, as soon as you accept it, you can have that fulfilling life immediately. So we don't want to suggest that it's this huge journey and you're nowhere near where it is. So, but we will give you specifics on it. But the truth is that what do you need to have for a fulfilling life? You just need to believe that you can have it. That's it. That's really the end of it. But we're going to get you some more specifics. So we're starting off with our tarot here. And we have our angel guide oracle here. And then we have oracle on the side to get you some more information. So let's get you right into your reading. So we have the Prince of Discs, the Prince of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. And then we have the Empress. All right. This is a beautiful card. They're all beautiful cards, but so let's see what we have. Also, spiritual growth. Wonderful. This is also a beautiful card. Let's put it up there. So in answer to your question, what do you need to release or have for a fulfilling life? This balance of beauty here with the divine masculine and the divine feminine is coming in for you. Very much, Pal, too. But there's not a lot for you to do. You've done the work, so in that way you've got so much in common with Pal One. Again, we don't want you going down the rabbit hole. This is what I need to do now. This isn't. No, absolutely not. So you're definitely moving forward in the world, figuring out what it is that you want. Specifically for you, Paul, too, it's always best for you to figure out what it is that you don't want, because you're a lot of you have this personality where, and it's not that you're afraid of commitment, but you have that exciting sort of dynamic. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. And some of you have done it to the point where you haven't set down as many roots as you wanted, one way or another, because there is an aspect of you that's always moving on. Now, you could live in the same place for like 10 years, but in many ways, you're still moving on from something. There's always something going on. So for you, this is about building roots to have a fulfilling life. And it doesn't mean that you need to spend the rest of your life in one place doing one thing. That's not, first of all, that's not going to happen for you. But it's about, again, in this way, it's very similar, although you're here to make your mark. You're here to have those roots. You're here to find that balance. And you're on the way to doing that. And in that way, you have something a little bit in common with Pile 1, but again, very different energy. So coming into the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So we say here with the Empress coming into this energy and holding your magic. And also holding specifically for you, Paul, too, holding every single situation that you've been in, every learning experience that you've been in. And a lot of you have put yourself into situations where you're constantly experiencing. Some of you may feel like you were constantly experiencing the same thing and maybe going around in circles. You weren't. There were certain aspects that you needed to go through in order to get more information as you moved through. But for some of you, you could have felt like you're going through the same sort of motions and you weren't getting anywhere, sort of in a rut. Now, that's in your past and we're not going to focus on that. But no, there was still much more for you to figure out and accomplish and see while you went through all of those situations. So a lot of you have felt as though you're sort of wide open in many ways and also shut down in many ways. So you have that wall that's been up there, but at the same time, you've been open to other people. So it made you open to other people's criticisms. It made you open to other people's projections. This is certainly something that's coming up, again, as a theme at the beginning of 2021. And what you've done is you've experienced a good portion of your life seeing it from everybody else's point of view. Now, your fulfilling life here is to release the notion of doing that and seeing it from your own point of view. Now, everybody has their own point of view. Everybody has their own version of sort of truth. Truth is relative, this, that, and the other. There is like an absolute version of truth that includes a million different other versions of truth, of course. And this is something that you know, and this is something that you're already connected to. But specifically what you're here to connect to that's coming up for you is having that balance where you can claim your own life. You see things from your own point of view. Some of you can have a really firm idea about something, and then somebody else will come in, two other people will come in, and they'll give you their version of it, and then you're not so sure about your version. Now, that's a wonderful thing to do. It's wonderful to be open. It is absolutely wonderful to be open. And the beauty and the essence of who you are, whereas like nothing is set in stone. You'll always be open to sort of revamp or whatever, or I thought I knew something, or I thought I knew that, and you know what? I've decided that I don't know enough about that, or this, that, and the other. This is something that's inherently within you anyway, but you were almost too open in doing that. So, you would be clear about where it is that you were coming from, and then other people would come in with so many different points of view, and then it would cause you to be a little off kilter a little bit, and then you start questioning everything. So what's happening for you is this very firm foundation of the divine masculine and the divine feminine that creates and produces this really firm foundation of knowing where and who you are at any given time. And from then on in, you can absolutely still stay that open, empathic, beautiful self of yours, take in more information, but then you can be a little bit more discerning. See, what you do is you let in all that information, and then as it upsets you and as you go through all this stuff, then you become discerning and say, all right, you know what, this doesn't work for me, but I've already let it in. I need to cleanse. I need to do this, that, and the other. So what's being set up for you is this firm foundation of this sort of filter system, right? this filtering system that's coming in, where you can just stop that energy immediately. And you don't really like doing that. You want to give everybody their own point of view. You really give people space to be who they are. You're an excellent listener, and that's what people love about you. And again, we want to remind you that we're not asking for you to give that up. You'll always have that aspect to your personality. You'll always be beautiful in that way. You've come to this earth bound realm at this time to be that person for other people. And you allow people to be themselves just by being yourself, and allowing others to be themselves by having their own experiences without you having to filter their experiences through your experiences. You're just able to give people just space to be themselves, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But we want you to filter this energy coming in so you can stop it as it comes in and just say, this energy doesn't feel right to me. I don't need to hear what this person needs to say. There's a frequency here that I just don't need. I can give them compassion. I can give them space. I can, I can give everything, but I can, I can stop this energy right now and protect your energy a little bit. And then what happens is that you have this firmer identity, this firmer understanding of who you are, which ironically is an identity that can go in any different direction. That's sort of like a well of sort of knowledge and faith. That now allows for new experiences every day. And then you're not filtering in too many people's projections. Now, this is something that you've constantly done throughout your life, where you've been so open. A lot of people's projections have come in and integrated into your soul. And what it does, it sort of levels up. If you're at a high vibration, it can compromise the vibration or the frequency that you're at. It causes you to doubt yourself in ways that are not necessary. All of this is not necessary. So there's a little extra energy of coming in with the knowledge of the divine masculine coming in as that strength. And we're asking you to use that strength to say, no, you know what? I'm not going to go through this for 2 days. I already know this energy isn't working for me. I'm not going to put myself in this energy. I'm not going to read these. I'm not going to read these comments on Facebook. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pull myself down anymore. I can accept that people feel this way, and that's fine. That's up to them. Need us remind us that, Earth is an absolute free will zone. Everybody gets to say and feel the way that they want, and if they say that that's truth, it can be truth for them. But again, it doesn't need to be true for you. So there's an area of protection. And this is the reason why we want you to do it, because you've been so open and been under the projections of others one way or another. And it's sort of, in some ways, it's been a little subconscious or a little insidious, right? And it's affected your beautiful little inner child there. And it's affected your ability to be out there in the way that you want to be, because you feel as though there's a judgment, you're taking on too much. So in many ways, and in some ways, or in many ways for some of you, you've shut down in certain key aspects of your life because you don't want that energy in anymore. You want to protect yourself from those projections. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly natural. Of course, that's the way that you would do this. But what we're asking for you to do is to approach this differently, and you're ready to do this now. Approach this differently, where you're hitting up and again really having this very, very firm foundation of the masculine and feminine, knowing when to say no, having that filter system before it even comes into your energy, and saying no, preserving your energy, and then from that really firm, grounded self. Then you can bring in the energy that you want to bring in and say, all right, okay, let's check this out. And then you're more open around more situations and more beauty that leads to more connection. So it's just sort of doing things a little bit differently. And it's honoring yourself. It's honoring your magic, and also honoring your truth. You see, the thing is that it's kind of a difficult situation for you because you see the ultimate truth. There is an ultimate truth and within that ultimate truth, there's a million different other truths, because all truth connects to other truths. But some people are very specific about what truth is. There's only one God. There's only this. There's only that. That's true for them. It's not universal truth. And that's fine. If they can make it work for them, or if it doesn't, that's their truth. They own it, and they have every right to own it. And it's none of our business what they do with that. But you actually see universal truth, and yet you're very attracted to how people's minds work. You're very attracted to putting yourself in the position of trying to figure out why somebody would be that frightened in order to shut everything out. Well, there's only one way of doing things, and living in fear, ostensibly because you can feel it. And in order for you to take on that energy, you've got to figure it out, and and cut it to the core and sort of take it apart. And in order to do that, you bring in that energy, and then it upsets you. So all we're asking for you to do again is to build that firm foundation, have that filtration system beforehand. You don't need to bring that that energy. And also, you can keep that respect for others, having that fascination for others, living their life and thinking the way that they do, even if it's sort of aberrant in a way, or a little bit out there. You're sort of still fascinated by how people can come up with that idea. For some of it, and this is really random, and this could be for some of you. Some of you might be fascinated by criminal justice, or how people think, serial killers, this, that, and the other. Not obsessed with serial killers by any stretch of the imagination, but you don't shy away from any of that. You're interested in how people think, and how it's all very interesting to you. Now, we're not suggesting you give that up. It's just a filtration system whereby you don't need to take. You see, what you do is, when there's no filtration system, you take on that energy of the other person, and that's what makes you sick. There's a way for you to have that firm foundation, and then sort of explore while still protecting your energy. And that's what we're doing now. For any of you who are saying, yeah, this resonates, but it doesn't sound that big, this is huge. This is a really huge thing for you to do, to step up. It may seem small, and that's wonderful, because it's a little tweak in perception. It's a tiny little tweak. But honestly, once you get this sorted, once you get that firm foundation, and you're filtering this and protecting your energy, but still being that open person, what happens is you'll click into other situations and allow in the right situations. What you're doing is you're allowing in all this information and all of these people's energies and projections, and this, that, and the other, and filtering through it. So when good stuff comes in, you're too exhausted to bring that in to the degree that it could bring in, and really integrate and bring you next. You treat the good stuff with the stuff that actually needs to be held back, because all energy is energy. So what we want you to do is, we want you to have that filtration system, protect yourself. And it's okay, because once those boundaries are firm and set up, you won't need those boundaries anymore. So when we say protect, you're protecting yourself right now until it becomes second nature. And pulling in, you're not used to really protecting your energy or protecting yourself one way or another, but you're so open and you're so empathic that you really need to learn how to do that. And once you do, you have that firm foundation, and then you'll be able to bring in the right energy that you want to do, and still explore the fascinations that you have, but from a safe distance, where you're not looking at it from the inside out, because that's a little much. That's a little much for you, and you've got other things going on, because that energy from the inside out, when you bring it in, and that energy is lower frequency, you find yourself after days having to deal with it, and it dumbs down your own power. And it creeps in different ways, where you start doubting yourself, and this, that, and the other. And we don't want you to do that. And it's not that you don't know who you are. You have a firm idea of who you are. You're passionate. You really do. I mean, most of you are really stubborn in that way. You really do know who you are. So if you've gotten this sort of I don't know what's going on with my mind, I don't feel grounded, that's another reason you don't feel grounded. This sets up a very firm foundation for you, where you are grounded into knowing who you are. And it messes with your energy, and it messes with your power, and there's no reason for you to do it. So for you to have a fulfilling life, again, immediately, whenever you want it, just claim it. But the specifics of it is just get the foundation sorted. And again, we don't want you to go into, I got to take a course on this, got to take a course on grounding. You don't need to do any of that. It's a simple tweak in perception. It's a simple filtration system right at the beginning, a very specific thing for you to do. Watch how your energy changes as as you do that in the next couple of days. Just, as we say, these are general readings. These are also, listen to your intuition. Try it on. If you decide to try on this exercise and see what it's like for a couple of days, do it. That's the best way to say this works for me or it doesn't work for me, by actually putting it in, if it feels right to you, by trying it out. Don't take my word for it. Go out there and do it yourself. Because this is your life and your intuition. Soul purpose. Act on your soul purpose today. Absolutely. Now, your soul purpose is to be able to design a life around being there for other people and working with other people's energy, this, that, and the other, on many different ways, for many different ways, for many different people, for you in pile 2. But you have to get your energy set first. And there's many different ways that you've worked around this over the years. So this is the last sort of piece of the puzzle to bring it in, to be able to do that. Having that really firm foundation allows you to step off in any way that you want and to protect your energy. You're also very powerful. So protecting your energy is a wonderful thing to do. And again, we want to remind you to, we're reiterating, protect your energy now as you learn how to do it with the boundaries. But you're going to get so beautifully brilliant at this that you won't even need to do this. So this is just a momentary device for you to learn how to do it and set it in motion. So you won't need this energy of protection very soon. So let's do this. We have the Moonology, Oracle cards. But it's a way for you to really truly honor where you are, your own energy, to put your own energy first, to claim your power and your wisdom through all the experiences that you put yourself through. A lot of you have had to learn how to say no. And even when you've said no, the other person hasn't really listened. So this is a lifelong thing for you to do. And this is, again, just the end of that. To claim who it is that you are. So let's go ahead and get one here. Conclusions are within reach. Wonderful. Full moon eclipse. Let's do this one here too. Feeling this one. And believe in the impossible. Absolutely. You really have an avid imagination, this gorgeousness that you have. You're absolutely really apt at working with manifestation and abundance energy. But for some of you, some of it can fall flat. And this is the reason why. You're taking in too much energy, and your subconscious and your consciousness is constantly working through those projections and constantly working through other people's energy, when that energy should be preserved for you to bring in the visual. You have the visual, you know what you're doing. For those of you who are like, I don't know, I know that I'm a visual person, I know that I can manifest, but it doesn't work the way I think it should be working. It kind of falls flat, or I start off really well and it's not coming to the conclusion that I want. It is within reach, and this is the reason why. The way in which your galactic energy or your energy is working within your body. So this is just a small tweak, a shift in perception for you to bring the power and the energy back to you. So at any time when you are projecting out, or you are doing that manifestation, you are doing that visual and holding that manifestation of abundance, you'll be able to pull that in for yourself instead of it getting diluted in with everybody else's energy. So this is another way for you to build that firm foundation and bring in the life that you want, because you know what it is, you know what it looks like, and you're brilliant manifestors. So if you're brilliant manifestors and you feel like you're very adept at doing this, but at the same time it's falling short a little bit, this is the reason why. Clear out, clear out, clear out. You don't have to do a huge cleanse. You don't have to do anything dramatic. It's just a matter of clearing out the energy that's already within your system right now. And again, putting up those barriers, not barriers, I don't want to say that. Put up that level of protection, at least initially, and get that all set up with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Learn how to say no. And really use that divine masculine here to protect as it steps up to really honor that empress energy, that divine feminine energy that is rampant and beautiful and gorgeous, and needs to be set free. And it can be set free when you feel safe and secure in your own mind and in your own body. And that will happen when you have that firm foundation and you're protecting yourself a little bit. Again, protecting right now, having those boundaries now so you won't need them later. So that's what we have for you, Pile 2. We sincerely hope that we gave you a little bit of insight there, and we hope that that resonated. And if it did, feel free to give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comments below. And of course, hit that subscribe button and bell icon. If you are not part of the Unicorn Light Tarot family right now, we would love to have you. And there are many different ways to work with us, stay in touch, read a book, you take a course. Everything that you need are links below. So we suggest that you check out the links below, check in with your intuition and see which direction your soul wants to go to get some extra support and love. All right, my darlings, go be you and shine that beautiful light. Stay safe and sane until we meet again. Bye-bye. Hey, for all you gorgeous pile threeers out there, last but absolutely not least, this is your pile if you chose the turquoise here. And as a reminder, we're going ahead with our beautiful healing candle. You can release whatever you no longer need into the flame or bring in the energy of abundance and healing and even romance. It's set up for that too. Luck and lust, whatever you need, and fertility, whatever fertility means to you. So yeah, these readings are to work on many different levels. So we start off with our tarot, and then we also have our angel oracle guide here. And as a reminder, we are doing messages from your angels, guidance for a fulfilling life. And as we said in pile 1 and pile 2, slightly a trick question, because what do you need for a fulfilling life? All you need is to believe that you deserve one. That's it. But we are going to go beyond that. And reading's over. Thanks for coming. No, we are going to go a little bit deeper and get you some more information, either what you need or what you need to release to have a fulfilling life. But again, we want to make it very clear that all you need for a fulfilling life is to believe that you deserve one and step right into it. So we don't want to make this overcomplicated because it shouldn't be. So let's get right into your reading. So we have the Two of Cups, ooh, and the Princess of Discs. Beautiful. We have the Pentacle energy here. For the Princess of Discs, and then we have divine timing, gorgeousness. So a lot of you are coming into a union of sort. Now this could be like a physical union insofar as a union with it could be a union of different levels, a union of self, which usually happens before you meet somebody else. But this feels like a physical union, either coming into working within the business that you want to, or coming into working with, or finally gathering that love energy into your life also. This is an energy definitely of divine timing, as we see here, but it's also of coming in at a certain point where you're ready to accept it also. There's been a clearing out process for a lot of you for pile 3. For some of you, it could have been quite dramatic. There's been a clear out for this, that, and the other. So, you know, it's probably no surprise that something new is coming in, because you've been cleared out probably one way or another at the beginning of this year. And we said that different levels of this, some of it could have been quite painful. And some of it was, situations that were being cleared away that were no longer working for you anymore in any shape or form. But really, at the end of the day, you put your foot down and either said, I'm not doing this anymore, or you said it to the universe, and that situation actually properly fell away. But no matter how you did it, you did it in a very active way. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not standing for this anymore. Whether you physically told the person, like, I'm done, or the situation. But, sometimes all we have to do is stand in our own power, and then the universe listens, and then everything happens. It's not necessary to make everything, extremely dramatic. We're not friends anymore. Well, I kind of know that. But you were cutting ties. You were cutting those ties. Particularly at the beginning of this month with the start of 2021. Now, some of these situations could have been quite dark for you one way or another, because these people were representing other things or other situations, other karmic sort of roots in your life. So even though you were like, cutting this tie with this person shouldn't be such a big deal, we're not even really friends anymore, that relationship represented something far, far deeper. So when you were cutting the tie to that person, you were really cutting the tie to the root of what was going on. So a lot of intense stuff that's been going on for you, pile 3. And there's a lot of healing at a very specific level, of the core level that's coming up for you. And it's a beautiful time for you to really understand your worth, and also to understand that your journey in some ways is just beginning. Now, we want to be really clear about this. there's an essence of you that's starting again, but at the same time, you're not completely starting from scratch. So we want to be really clear about how that works. You're not starting from scratch. What you're doing when you're starting again is that you're able to take all of the wisdom and all the beauty, all of the experience, all the experiential information that you have that's filtered through your heart and your beauty. And you're able to take that information and begin sort of a new life, a new outlook, and how you're out there. Which means that the energy that you're putting out now are bringing in almost instantaneous results, like a lot of results coming in really, really quickly, in a way that it wouldn't have happened before. And that's an essence of that is divine timing. You're ready for this now. So you feel as though in some ways this is a brand new beginning. This is just a fresh start for you. But at the same time, you don't feel as though you're out of your league or I'm behind, or because some of you have felt as though, oh, late bloomer, or why does it take you, you can be very hard on yourself, pile three. Why does it take me so long to get this or do this? And why did I put up with this for so long and this, that, and the other? Again, we're not going into your past. That's your past. But you can be quite hard on yourself. So to be at this level, to be able to say, oh my goodness, this is a brand new beginning. This is a brand new start for me. And I really get to do this with all of my energy in place. I really get to do this without feeling as though I'm behind or constantly running to catch up, which is more of a specific kind of view for you. It's just this absolute sort of beginning where you're like, oh my goodness, I can go in any direction and I can really have what I want now. And not only that, you've cleared yourself to the point where when that stuff comes in, you can enjoy it. A lot of you haven't manifested exactly what you want. It's not that you're not capable of it. You're absolutely capable of it. But if you had manifested it, you would realize that you still wouldn't be happy. You really wanted to work on the core of who you were, to figure out who you are. Where you start, somebody else begins, and vice versa. Because, like Pal 2, you take on a lot of other people's energy, but you've stopped that now. You've really worked through that, and you realize that if you had this, that, and the other that you worked for, you wouldn't be in a position to really be able to sort of utilize it in the way that you can now. You wouldn't. You would be grateful for it. You have a grateful heart, a grateful open heart, but you wouldn't. It wouldn't have meant as much to you. So, you spend a good portion of your time, which is an ample, beautiful way of doing things. And a lot of people don't take time out to do this. In our modern, at least Western society, in our Western world, it's not number one to like sort of slow down and regroup and really get to the core of healing. It's like, what can I do quickly to get to the next level so I can manifest and get what I want? Go, 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 that sort of thing. How can I level up? How can I be more successful? How can I be this, that, and the other? You realize that success will only come to you in the way that you want it. And you'll only really be able to live through this understanding of success if you were grounded in your own soul and knew who you were. So, there were times where you felt as though you were catching up, or, I'm a little bit behind this, that, and the other. But for you, the quality of life was at the forefront, number one. It wasn't about accumulating things or, hey, look, I'm at the top of this tier now. I'm successful. I'm doing this. It was more about really very much working on yourself. And so when these things come in, you have this firm foundation of knowing who you are. And not only will you be able to enjoy them and take them in, but you'll also be able to share them with yourself and your community at large in a way that you wouldn't have been able to do that before. So you're not starting from the beginning. You're really not. But there is a brand new start for you that's timed at this moment. And, and everything that you draw to you now will definitely come in quicker. Let's see what else we have for you. We have the unicorn oracle here. It's a very exciting time for you. So a lot of you are thinking about the relationships and bringing in, and again, and this could be across board because these are general readings, but a lot of this is romance. A lot of this is either taking the romance that you have to the next level, and it would be a significant level, or it's taking, or it's allowing this romance to come in. It's already blossomed within you. It's taking down those barriers a little bit, pile 3, and just realizing that you're ready to really enjoy somebody at their core, like really open yourself up to a brand new love. But it would be a love and a situation and a gorgeous energy that you wouldn't have had before. Again, we want to make clear that, your brand new beginnings are brand new beginnings. Well, you may not be starting from the beginning. These are brand new beginnings. These experiences that you are absolutely and completely pulling in are experiences that are brand new. They cannot be compared to your past. They're not even built on a foundation that is even similar to your past. So this is a great and exciting time for you. And again, feeling as though some of this is business, finally bringing in the success that it is that you want, by knowing who it is that you are, and having that cleansing process. And a lot of this has to do with knowing your worth, pile 3. Finally knowing your worth. I feel as though a lot of you has been, you've spent a good portion of your time trying to convince other people of your worth one way or another. And they were too sort of, I'm going to use the word narcissistic, they're too involved, let's say, in their own actions or in their own selves to really be able to see that at a fundamental level. And this is another reason why you would have protected yourself in the past. But now you really understand your own level, you really understand your own worth, what you're going to put up with and what you're not, and you're attracting different kinds of energy, different kinds of people, where you don't have to force the understanding. You don't have to keep saying I'm worth more. They know that you're not going to be in a situation where you need to even utter those words. So it's a very exciting time for you. So you will be coming into these types of relationships coming in. Some of them will be romantic. Some of these relationships will bring in romantic relationships. That's how you could meet your significant other. And also business type relationships where you're actually not only successful and earning money from doing what it is that you love, but working with successful, brilliant people who absolutely adore what it is that you bring to the table. Honesty. Honesty will ultimately be rewarded. Now, this is something that you've had to deal with one way or another, pile 3, because you're honest to a fault. And let me tell you, a lot of people don't like honesty. They don't like it. They don't get it. They've spent a good portion of the time building themselves up on sort of falsehoods. So when you come in and beat to the bush or whatever, I don't know what that saying is, or get to the crux of the situation, they're like, who the hell is this person? And you're very perceptive. You've got that psychic ability, that empathic ability. You'd be able to sit there, and when people are telling you all sorts of things, you'll be able to go, well, that's not exactly true. Now, you don't necessarily tell people, but whatever it is that people don't say, that's you're able to extract the truth. Now, you've always been very honest in situations, and sometimes it's been a situation where you're like, this is not the right time for honesty, and you've shut it out. But that's been because whenever you've been honest, people have reacted a certain way. But you're in the situation now that your honesty will be rewarded. People will seek you out for the way in which you say things or articulate yourself. People will seek you out because of your honest opinion, because you don't beat around the bush. And this is a glorious time for you to be able to stand in this trait that you have, this gorgeous honest trait. And it sounds really weird, right? Oh, you're honest, so what? Most people are. They're not. They're not, and they're not purposely deceitful either. They're so far gone in their own mind that they've created a version of themselves, or created a version of their truth, where honesty is just sort of repelled by it. They'll have their own version of honesty, and again, it will attribute or be connected to their own version of truth, but it's not whole honesty. It really isn't. So it's not a trait that we revere necessarily. It's not a trait that a lot of people have, but this is something that's absolutely gorgeous, and this is something that you can utilize in a brand new way, not hide it away anymore. Again, people will be seeking you out for this. That's part and parcel of this going on. So what do you need to have a fulfilling life? It's allowing this process to take place. And again, having and really standing firm. Now, you've done a lot of this work already for the cutting cords and everything, not seeing for most of you that much of that needs to be done. All the cutting cords have happened, and you've come through the other side. You've walked to the other side of the mountain of what those cutting cords and how that energy affected you. Again, it may have gone deeper than the actual person that you were cutting the cords with. That person actually reminded you of your mother, or this, that, and the other. So yeah, a little bit of Freud stuff there. But you've worked through that, you come to the other side of it. So just allowing in this energy of really grounding in that foundation. Again, you have this in common with pile 2. You might want to check it out if you feel called to. Very different energy though. And really having that self-worth, and knowing that everything that you are and everything that you believe is to be revered, and to pull in others who will also do that for you. So let's see, I want to pull one more from this too. Archangel Gabriel call in the pure white light. Yeah, for those of you who are still working, even if this is resonating with you, people can be at different sort of versions of this. If you're still at the point, so this part of the reading is for those who are still feeling as though they're at the cutting the cord energy, and it can be a little bit painful. We want to remind you that the reason why it can be a little bit painful is because it's bringing up stuff from the past. So this cutting of the cord can go a little bit deep. So we want to remind you that you're not doing this alone. You can bring in Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, surround yourself with pure light. You can even have Archangel Gabriel. We can bring him in the session right now, and it, always go with what your intuition tells you to do. But we can actually cut the cords in this session. So if you want that to happen, you can just say either yes aloud or yes in your mind. We can have Archangel Michael just cut those cords for you that no longer serve. So if you're in the cutting cords mode, you're not really on the other side of that mountain yet. Don't have that fresh air yet. Remember, you're not doing this alone. Surround yourself in white light and help. Help. Gather in that help, and we're doing that for you now. So breathe deeply, especially in your heart chakra, throat chakra, and third eye chakra. All of those chakras being able to communicate, be seen for who you are. All of those chakras will be clearing out for you too, as we help you cut those cords. So let's finish off with some Moonology energy here. So keep breathing. And you can definitely work with Archangel Michael in any way that you want for cutting cords after the session too. So believe in the impossible, absolutely. Coming back to, let's pull one more and then we'll do this. Have faith in your dreams, absolutely. Look at these two. Have faith in your dreams and believe in the impossible. Now that your energy is directed back towards you, and again, very similar to Pal too, now that it's directed towards you and you know what you're worth, we want you to reenact what it is that you want, and we want you to go big with this. Go big, go dream. Bring in your dreams, because you really are able. You have this absolutely gorgeous, elemental, beautiful energy. We just need you to believe how amazing you are. Even when people tell you you're amazing, you sort of believe it because you love the person that's telling you. But we want you to really integrate that energy into your soul and just own it. We want you to own that energy of being badass. A lot of you do, and you're badass in the world, but when it comes to really understanding that how gorgeous you really are, you can falter a little bit. But this is what this is about, cutting the cords to the old, and also specifically knowing the kind of energy that you want to bring in. It's very important to have the right kind of people, the right kind of energy around you. You haven't always had that, and that really has dumbed you down one way or another. So this is a time for you to have that fulfilling life, not to have that energy around you, because you've done the work to clear out the need to work through all these other lifetimes and all these other situations through these people. And now we want you to get back into believing in the impossible, having faith in your dreams that they will materialize, and they absolutely will, because you're free to be able to pull them in now, and you know at your core that you deserve everything that you ask for. So this is an extremely exciting time for you. So that's what we have for you, Pile 3. Don't forget to check in now. This Sunday we have a reading for the week, and these readings here that we have, the general reading, which is what I'm posting today, usually if not always correspond with the week ahead too. So you can get some extra information, a little extra support and help. So click back with us on Sunday, and don't forget to come and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. So if this did resonate with you, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you guys. And don't forget, there's a myriad of different ways to work with us, whether you're reading the book, signing on for one of the courses, or our Facebook page, or wherever it is. All the links are down below, so definitely urge you to go down below, check them out. Always listen to your intuition and see which direction it's going to go in. And of course, there's so many things on the channel, including Unicorn Therapy and the 5-day course, Intuition and the Oracle. There's lots of different things. Try to, not just the readings, but try to give you so many other resources for support and love in these unprecedented times. So sending so much love and light to you, Pile 3. Take care until we meet again. Bye-bye.